Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean, this is In The Mix. Welcome to episode 2 of our One Season Wonder Save with Paris Saint-Germain. If you haven't gone back and watched episode 1, what are you doing? Episode 2 is such a weird place to start. But if you go and check that one out, you're going to introduce yourself to the squad, our whole off-season, the players that we've brought in, our targets for the season, which is mainly the Champions League, and a whole bunch of different other stuff as well. We're just going to jump straight into it because we didn't actually play that much football last episode, and I really want to get stuck into some of the games in our season. Alright, so as you guys can see, I have kind of started just in the squad page here. You can see at the top, we're currently 5th in the League 1 Conforma, but Conforama, I will work on the pronunciation. That sounded very Spanish instead of French. I don't know if I've done that right. But we have played different amounts of games to a variety of different teams. The first thing that I should probably show you guys, and probably should have shown you in the last episode, was the season preview. Now, at the moment, Kone has come in at left back, and Mendes is coming in midfield. We had the starting 11 only a couple of days ago. A couple of injuries have changed that. Verratti was in here, and also Bernat was in there as well. They're still showing Meunier, even though he's not our first choice fullback, on the right-hand side, but we have picked up quite a few injuries that have changed things across the team. First one, Nelson Semedo, unfortunately, broken lower leg. He's out for quite a while. 3 to 5 months. It sucks. We just brought him in during the off-season from Barcelona. He was playing pretty well. He was one of our better performers, to be honest, and it's not great that he's there, but at least he will be back later in the season. Idrissa Gueye is finally back into fitness. He'll be back in one day. Mbappe picked up a knock where he had been out with a hamstring strain for 3 weeks. He's going to be back hopefully in time for the next match. And Neymar as well. He's been both suspended and pulled his hamstring where he's been out for 10 days over the last little stretch. So we have kind of struggled to keep a full fit side together and out there on the park, but while we aren't smashing the division, we haven't lost yet either. We, of course, beat Rennes 2-0 in the Trophée des Champions, which you saw in the last episode. We then drew 1-1 with Reims. We went down to 10 men. Neymar sent off for a horrific-looking challenge in that one. We were actually good enough to get a goal straight away after going in a goal down at half-time. It was one of those went in at half-time. They'd had one shot type deals. They eventually kind of got a few extra as it went on. Only one shot on target and one goal, which is frustrating. We then beat Angers 3-1 in a good performance, and then another draw 1-1 with Rennes, who we'd already beaten early in the season. It was a very different lineup to the one that they brought into the Cup game. And then we beat Nice last time out 2-1, despite going down to 10 men with Semedo getting that injury late on. Pogba, an excellent goal, his first for the club in the 90th minute, was enough to get us past them and leapfrog them in the table. We do currently sit 4th, 4 games played. Some teams have played 5, some of the other teams have played 4 as well. 2 wins, 2 draws in that time, but the more interesting part is our Champions Cup. Opponents have been drawn for the group stages. We're going to play Tottenham, which you're actually going to see in this episode today, Red Bull Salzburg and Red Bull Leipzig. So some strong sides. You'd expect Tottenham to do well. You'd expect Leipzig to be kind of like challenging as well. And then we'll have to be at our best and get maximum points in that first round of games to get out of the group stage, hopefully finishing top of the division so we get a bit of an easier draw in the second round. Looking around, there's quite a few straightforward groups. Zebra should get out. Benfica and Shakhtar will probably finish second in that one. Man City should get out of their group. Celtic or Ajax or Galatasaray, the others. You'd expect Ajax to finish second in the division. Atletico Madrid, Zenit St. Petersburg, Bayer Leverkusen, Atalanta. Maybe Leverkusen and Atletico Madrid, the strongest two there. This is a great group. Real Madrid, Liverpool and Olympic Lyon, as well as Lokomotiv Moscow. You'd expect Madrid and Liverpool to get out comfortably though. Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, Dynamo Kiev, Ludogorets, Dortmund and Barcelona, pretty straightforward there. Bayern, Napoli, Valencia and Lille, one of the other French teams. Bayern will definitely top that group. And I think Napoli are actually probably a bit stronger than Valencia and Lille. And then Chelsea, Inter, Genk and FC Porto in the other one. You'd expect Chelsea and Inter to get out, but Porto, it's always hard to tell with them. They might spring a few surprises. It does sort out our schedule for a little bit, so we're definitely going to do the game today against Metz in the league and hopefully jump up towards the top of the division, and then our game against Tottenham to kick off the Champions League campaign. We'll probably jump forward a little bit, maybe not do the games against Salzburg and Leipzig in the first round, and then potentially we'll come back and finish off the group stage, as well as doing the big game against Monaco in the next episode, so we can kind of get as much of the knockout rounds of the Champions League included in the series and included in the save. So everything's starting to take shape. We do need to try and get a good win today, though. 2 wins in this episode would be absolutely massive. A perfect way to start our Champions League campaign. But both Metz and Tottenham are probably going to be 2 of our bigger tests so far in the season. Magic of editing, let's jump forward to the game against Metz and look at the 2 lineups. Right, just like that, we have gone into the match itself. So we're playing a 4-2-3-1. We have made one little change. Instead of being on a balanced mentality, we're now on a positive mentality. I think the balanced mentality, we were taking too long with our opportunities and we're a bit slow in possession. Hopefully by going to positive, we will be a little bit more attacking, a little bit more on the front foot, and hopefully we can get past some of the lower division teams in our league. They've got some good players though. Mamadou Fofana looks okay, has decent potential. He's come up previously as a centre-back that can also play midfield in our scouting reports. So he's one that I immediately recognise. They've got Julian Alvarez up top from River Plate. Looks to be a decent advanced forward, only 19 years of age. And then Gregory is their only player that I think they picked up during the off-season. Looks to be a solid centre-back they picked up from Bordeaux early in the off-season. So they're playing a very low 4-2-3-1. It's similar to our structure, but definitely much, much deeper midfielders and two defensive midfielders there kind of asking a few questions about our positioning. We've got Di Maria's going to play on the right today. Draxler's going to play on the left. They're going to both play as inverted wingers and kind of step inside for the fullbacks to push on beyond them. Diallo has come in, Munier's come in, Di Maria, Draxler. You wouldn't expect them to start, but I think it says a lot about our depth as a squad that we're able to rotate pretty heavily, lose some good players, and still have quite a bit of strength coming off the bench. We are going to assertively tell everybody, go out there, relax, play your natural game, and we're going to assertively tell the defence we need them to make a difference. A few more clean sheets. That's probably the issue that we've had so far. And hopefully we can carry on with a good performance and take some momentum into the Tottenham game. First highlight here, Dybala, Pogba. Switches out left to Draxler. Dybala now with the ball. Across to Pogba. Back to Verratti at base midfield. Ball in behind for Diallo to chase. He's not a natural fullback, but he's filling in that role today. Dybala, reverse pass to Draxler. Steps inside. Looks for Verratti at the top of the box. Exchanges passes with Pogba. Nice little triangle there. Dybala with the ball now. Across to Pogba. Verratti. Just keeping the possession between the two of them. We're at least stringing passes together, which is good to see. Draxler, back to Verratti again, who's getting pretty much free ball whenever he wants it in that little hole. Now ball over the top for Di Maria. On his wrong foot, he's got the strike away, and I think it was a good save from the keeper who could only push it back onto the crossbar. And 2 minutes in, we are all over them. Di Maria to take the corner now. There's no one in there. Might have to sort out our corner routines, which has been a long-running theme of all of my saves so far this year, forgetting to do it for 6 or 7 episodes at a time. Throw in here, 12 minutes gone. Dybala with the ball. Verratti looks to play it in behind for Munier to chase. Does okay to keep it in. It's poor clearance. Dybala recovers. Munier back to Dybala. Square ball to the top of the box. Pogba with the drive. Just wide of near post, but nice little interchange of passing there. Dybala's been heavily involved in everything we've seen so far. 20 minutes in, we've got 3 yellow cards already, both of our centre-backs. We're going to have to keep an eye on them as the game progresses. Ball over the top here. It's pinballing around in midfield. Pogba's right there. Munier recovers possession, plays it to Pogba. Sends one over the top for Cavani to chase. He's 1v1 if he can find the finish. It's a good strike, but a good save from the Mets keeper as well, forcing that one out for the corner. It'll be Di Maria to take. Curling away from the keeper. That was, again, he doesn't beat the first man, which has been kind of an issue of a lot of our set pieces so far. Ball in behind here. First time we've really seen Mets get goal side. Traore, their left back. Out wide to Boyd, the full back. Traore. Boy again, just exchanging passes there. Don't seem too keen to get a ball in, but the ball in behind for Traore now. Good pressing tackle there from Thiago Silva, actually recovered to win the ball back from Alvarez, who really just had to find the back of the net. Traore is going to take the resulting corner. Whips it in now on his left foot. It's well headed away by Pogba. Dybala is going to chase. Is he going to get there first? The highlight comes to an end. We're going to use our demand more shout as well. Hopefully that doesn't fire everyone up too much because we've got these yellow cards here that we're going to have to keep an eye on. 1 minute to be added on. There's a late highlight here. Di Maria with a deep free kick in. Thiago Silva with the header at back post, just over the crossbar. And the referee calls half time. 17 shots, 8 on target, 53% of the ball. They've had 4, 1 and 47. So we have been on the top. We just haven't found the finish yet. We're going to say assertively, it's time for everyone to dig in and show what you've got left. I'm just going to tell everybody they have the ability to make a real difference for us tonight. And the midfielders have responded positively. Can we get something out of Cavani? We can't. But at least we still have subs up our sleeve. We still have tactical tweaks up our sleeve if we want to go a little bit more attacking in the second half. As we always do, we'll give it 30 minutes and see how we're going. Verratti, ball in, finds Cavani, who's on his own. He just had to get that one on target. And when I said 30 minutes, I meant 15 minutes. We give it to the hour mark pretty much before we look at subs or changes or anything like that. And there's a highlight here. We'll let this play out before we make those changes. Di Maria plays it back to Thiago Silva, who bursts forward. Needs to release the ball. Squares it up to Pogba. Dybala, Verratti. Got an overlapping fullback in Munier. Find him now on the right. Cuts it back for Di Maria. Squares it up to Cavani. Gets the strike away. And then Di Maria with the drive just past the far post. We're going to look at those subs now. Let's see how we're doing. We're just going to sort by match rating. Cavani struggling a little bit, but I'm more concerned, I think, about the yellow cards that we've got. I think Marquinhos looks composed. Thiago Silva looks composed. Should I trust him? But maybe we'll take off Di Maria and bring on Pablo Sarabia on that right wing. He can cut inside. And then Cavani, we're going to take off Famora Icardi and play him as a poacher, which is his preferred role. Maybe we're creating good opportunities. We just need someone to pass them in the back of the net. Let's passionately tell them we have faith. And let's keep the other substitution up our sleeve in case we accidentally go down to 10 men. Corner here, Verratti to take. Deep ball across, it's headed away. Sarabia puts one back in towards back post. Icardi's hit the crossbar and then they've scrambled it away. It was a good ball in from Sarabia. It looked like a strike, to be honest, but Icardi managed to get a little flick on header. Verratti with the corner now. Icardi was back stick. Thiago Silva's going to reset and the highlight comes to an end. Let's also use our Get Creative shout. We've done that. Everyone seems inspired. We're getting into the last 10 minutes now. This is kind of the way things have gone for us at the moment. We've been on top statistically. We've been on top in terms of highlights. But we're just struggling to find the back of the net. And maybe that's down to our player roles. Maybe we need to move Cavani to be something a little bit more proactive than a pressing forward. 3 minutes to be added on here. And the referee calls full time. 33 shots in the end. 12 on target. 60% possession. 4-1 and 40% for Mets. Another draw to add to our list. Let's tell everyone that wasn't good enough just to motivate them a little bit more. And maybe I'm being harsh because I know we've got quite a few players out. But we should be still, even with our B team, have enough to get past most teams in the division. Let's just fire through that press conference. And Verratti actually got the man of the match award. Let's just say passing was good and he's happy with that. Arsenal boss Unai Emery is there watching Julian Draxler. If he's willing to bid like £30 million, I'll let Draxler go. That's fine. I would love to be able to do some more stuff in the transfer market. We've got a few now that are going to change before the game against Tottenham. I think what we might do is, because we're still early part of the season and a lot of players still haven't gotten through a lot of training, we're just going to give everyone 1 day's rest. Have everyone that's fit and registered. And now, magic of editing, we'll jump forward to the game against Tottenham at home. Just like that, we're a couple of days ahead. We're going to go with our 4-4-1 counter-attacking style, which is very much based on the trequartista low block. Still no Neymar, still no Mbappe, so we're not going to try and force too much. Draxler will play on the right, Di Maria on the left. It's very much a similar lineup. The only change that we've made is Verratti out suspended. Pogba will drop to the deep line playmaker, and Herrera will play as a box-to-box, get a bit more energy in there, a little bit more kicking of players like Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, whoever else. Otherwise, it's a relatively unchanged lineup for us. Bernat makes his way back into the first team, which is good to see. And hopefully this combination between Dybala and Cavani will start to bear some fruit. They are playing a very straightforward 4-2-3-1, pretty much what you'd expect to see from them. Dele Alli in the hole, Kane up top, Son on the left wing, Moura on the right. Ndombele and Eriksen is the central midfield partnership they've gone with. Vertonghen and Sanchez is a central defensive partnership, but otherwise, Danny Rose, Walker-Peters, that's who you'd expect to see in that lineup. Be interesting to see if Alderweireld comes off the bench at any point. We might keep an eye on that if he's not playing regularly. And they've got a couple other good players in their squad, a couple of French players as well, maybe we should keep an eye on. Passionately, we're going to say, or assertively, let's say, go out there and impress me. And at least Marquinhos has responded positively. So hopefully we can get a good defensive performance out of everybody and set ourselves on our way. It's probably a weird one at home to be using our counter-attacking structure, but I think we want to set ourselves up defensively first. And then hopefully Tottenham, as they start to chase the game a little bit, will leave some space in behind for our subs. First highlight we've seen here, it's going to be a corner from Di Maria. They've only left one man on the post. Deep ball in towards Cavani, who's gotten there first for his 4th goal of the season. A lovely, lovely cross from Di Maria. Done very, very well to get that one across. And Cavani with pretty decent movement, to be fair to him. We'll check this one out here. Good ball in. Cavani gets there first. It pinballs around a little bit off some defenders' legs. But Cavani gets the final touch, sends it goalward, and Lloris can do nothing about it in goal. We did look at Hugo Lloris during the off-season as well, bringing a French goalkeeper back to the French capital, but Keylor Navas, he's fine. Like, there's nothing that we really need to replace him urgently, and we didn't have that much cash. There were other places that we wanted to look at a little bit quicker. Harry Kane with the ball now. Eriksen with the ball in behind for Walker-Peters. First we've seen of Tottenham coming forward. Deep ball across towards back post. It's pinballing around. Moura gets the strike eventually, and Navas thankfully grabs and holds. Moura, of course, playing against his old club. You've always got to keep an eye on that one because they love that commentary line. He's scored again. He's bitten the hand that feeds or whatever it is. Oh, poor pass from Eriksen there finds Cavani. And then a poor pass from Cavani finds Son. Eriksen releases Son now on the left-hand side. It's a great strike. That's a poor, poor piece of play both from Tottenham and from ourselves. It's an excellent strike though. I'm not going to be too upset about the finish, but look at the play here from Cavani. Manages to get the ball back. Plays it back into midfield to no one in particular. Son recovers. Kane plays it to Eriksen. Eriksen just takes a touch, releases Son, and that is an excellent finish. Side footing that one into the far corner. Well done to him. Third goal of the season for him. And you can see statistically they are just kind of a little bit ahead of us at the moment. Let's use our demand more shout just before half time. Give everyone some focus through to the halfway mark. 2 minutes to be added on. All right, so at half time, 7 shots, 3 on target, 44% possession. They've had 10, 7, and 56. Let's go and assertively say, what do we want to say? This is a tough one. We get a goal, it makes us favourites to win, and let's tactically go attacking, because why the fuck not? So that would have Di Maria and Draxler. Let's swap their sides. Maybe we'll put Di Maria as an inside forward on support. Pogba's struggling. Let's swap his roles with Herrera. Just a straight swap between the two of them to see if he can improve that way. And Thiago Silva struggling as well. Let's move him to the stopper and Marquinhos to be the covering defender. As always, we'll give it 15 more minutes before we make any subs or anything. But hopefully, a little bit of a tactical change, playing a little bit further forward, is going to work for us. I think Tottenham would be looking for a draw in this one themselves. Throw in here on the left-hand side, Bernat to take. 1-2 with Dybala. Gets a ball across towards Di Maria. Vertonghen's recovered though. Ball forward to Kane, who's one out. He's got players streaming forward to support him. And Ndombele out wide right to Walker-Peters, who gets into the box, gets the strike away. Weird area. Probably should have looked for a ball in behind or a cross, but instead he's gone the strike, and thankfully it's worked out okay for us. Where are we at with match ratings? Pogba's really struggled, so we're going to bring on Idrissa Gueye for his first appearance of the season. We might leave Herrera, the deep line playmaker, who's a little bit better suited to it. Actually, you know what? No, let's switch him. Gueye can play as the deep line playmaker on defend, and Herrera can play as the box-to-box. Do we want to try and bring Mbappe on to torch him a little bit? We'll take off Draxler. We'll bring Mbappe on the right-hand side, and Di Maria can move over to the left. And then should I hold on to the last sub, or should I make it early? Thiago Silva struggled a little bit. Let's bring on Abdou Diallo as the stopper and see how he gets on. Passionately, let's say if faith in you make a difference. And they've at least responded positively. There's a highlight here immediately. Dele Alli, Eriksen ball in behind for Son, who has gotten in behind a couple of times now. Meunier with a good tackle, but Son's going to recover again. And the ball pinballs around, eventually out for a corner for Tottenham. It'll be Christian Eriksen to take if we see it. We don't. We're going to use our shout. We're going to say get creative. Try and inspire everyone in this last 20 minutes or so to go after a winner. No further highlights that we've seen. We're going to use our demand more shout for the last 10 minutes. Give everyone some focus. There is a highlight here. It's a deep free kick for Tottenham. Sanchez is going to take it. Looks for the switch out towards Son, who's immediately goal in behind, and he's found the finish. 4th goal of the season for Son Heung-min. He has torn us apart on that right-hand side, and the quicker we can get Nelson Semedo back for the return fixture, I think the better off we'll be. Meunier should have done better, should have been tighter to it. The defensive line in general actually should have been a little bit deeper, but it's a good finish again on his left foot that time. If he gets a header in extra time, it's a perfect hat-trick for the South Korean. 4 minutes to be added on. Is there any late drama that we're going to see here, or are we going to peter out? We've got a corner. Di Maria to take towards Diallo, who gets the header across, but never looked like it was coming down enough to trouble the keeper. The highlight continues. 30 seconds remain. Ball with Lloris now, out left to Vertonghen. Back across to Davinson Sanchez, now to Ndombele. Got a few guys on yellow cards that you will have just noticed there, but they're keeping their composure. Sissoko goes past Bernat. Bernat has given away a free kick, and dare I say it, this should be the last little portion. We're through the 4 minutes to be added on now. Just be waiting on the referee to call full time. Ndombele, back to Walker-Peters. Into Ndombele. It's a poor ball, and the referee calls full time. So in the end, 13 shots, 4 on target, 46% possession. They had 14, 8, and 54. Son Heung-min has torn us apart. Assertively, I'm just going to say, far from pleased with what I've seen. So our first defeat of the league season so far, and things aren't actually going that well. So if we don't turn it around in the next few games, we may potentially look at a bit of a tactical tweak and look at what we're doing well, look at what we're doing poorly. And if we have to make any changes, if we have to make any adjustments, making sure we're doing them early enough in the season and the Champions League campaign that they can still kind of bear fruit for us. All right, so not the ideal results that we were after. A draw and a defeat isn't the best way to continue our season so far, but I think what we will do is jump a little bit further ahead in the league season and the Champions League campaign. We might make some tactical tweaks as we need to try and get the best out of some of the players. We do, of course, have Mbappe coming back. We do, of course, have Neymar coming back. I think we're going to change Cavani's role in the team just a little bit. Now we might change some of the tactical instructions for our in-possession stuff as well, because we're dominating most games, but we're just struggling to find the back of the net, so we need to find that cutting edge. As always, guys, thank you so much for your continued support on the channel. If you want to subscribe to be kept up to date on future videos, please do so. If you want to follow us over on Twitter to see all our interactions with the community or to reach out to me directly, by all means do that. Keep an eye on our Sunday night, Sunday morning if you're in the UK Twitch streams. The links are just over on that side there. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.